Ever wondered where the eeriness of Halloween originated from? Let's take a journey back in time, to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. This was a time when the Celts believed that the veil between the living and the dead was at its thinnest. The night of October 31st was seen as a supernatural bridge, a moment when mischievous spirits could cross over into the world of the living. To protect themselves from these unruly phantoms, the Celts performed intricate rituals. They lit bonfires, made sacrifices to their deities, and most interestingly, they donned costumes. Yes, the tradition of dressing up on Halloween has ancient roots. The Celts would wear animal skins and heads, believing this disguise would confuse spirits and ward off any potential harm. So, the roots of Halloween trace back to the ancient Celts. But how did it evolve into the holiday we know today? Fast forward to the 8th century, a significant shift is noted in the Halloween narrative as we know it. Pope Gregory III, the then religious leader, designated November 1st as a time to honor all saints. This day, aptly titled All Saints' Day, incorporated some of the traditions of Samhain, the ancient Celtic festival. The Celts believed that on the eve of Samhain, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. This belief, coupled with the tradition of remembering saints, led to the evening before All Saints' Day becoming known as All Hallows Eve. And so, as the sun set on the 31st of October, people began to celebrate All Hallows Eve. This was a night filled with prayer, remembrance, and reverence for the departed. Over the centuries, All Hallows Eve evolved, and its name was eventually shortened. Today, we know it by a much more familiar term, Halloween. As time went on, Halloween began to take on a new form. Jumping into the 19th century, Halloween started to transform into a community-centered holiday. The face of Halloween began to change as a wave of new immigrants, including millions of Irish fleeing the potato famine of 1846, reached America. These newcomers brought with them their rich cultural traditions, including the celebration of Halloween, which they helped popularize across the country. As the celebration took root in American soil, certain practices began to emerge. One of the most prominent was dressing up in costumes. This tradition was heavily influenced by European customs associated with All Hallows Eve, where people would disguise themselves to ward off harmful spirits. The Celtic tradition of guising, where people would go door to door in costumes or disguises, performing antics in exchange for food and drink, also found its place in American Halloween traditions. The act of guising eventually evolved into what we now know as trick-or-treating. Children, dressed in their spooky best, would go from house to house asking for treats with the phrase, "trick or treat." If the homeowners failed to provide treats, they risked being the victim of a harmless prank or trick. This playful practice added a layer of fun and community involvement to the holiday. Another tradition that gained popularity during this time was the carving of jack-o'-lanterns. This custom traces its roots back to an old Irish folktale about a man named Jack, who tricked the devil and was denied entry into both heaven and hell. Forced to wander the earth, Jack carved out a turnip to use as a lantern, hence the name jack-o'-lantern. In America, pumpkins native to the land replaced turnips and became the symbol of Halloween. Over time, Halloween evolved into a day filled with activities like trick-or-treating, carving jack-o'-lanterns, festive gatherings, donning costumes, and indulging in sweet treats. It became less about superstitions and more about community, fun, and creativity. While Halloween has changed over the centuries, its ancient roots still echo in today's celebrations. Today, Halloween stands as a testament to a fusion of ancient traditions, religious observances, and cultural practices. It's fascinating to see the myriad ways Halloween is celebrated around the globe. In some parts of the world, it's a time for honoring the dead, while in others, it's a festive occasion involving costumes, candies, and parties. Halloween has also become a significant commercial event, with a dramatic increase in the sale of costumes, decorations, and of course, candy. It's estimated that billions of dollars are spent each year on Halloween-related purchases. This commercial aspect has, in many ways, helped to spread the holiday's popularity worldwide. Moreover, the holiday has become synonymous with certain forms of entertainment. The thrill of horror movies, the adrenaline rush of haunted house tours, the creativity of pumpkin carving contests, these have all become integral parts of Halloween's modern identity. So the next time you don a costume or carve a pumpkin, remember the rich and varied history that has shaped Halloween into the holiday it is today.